Alright, by popular demand, we are doing part 3 on the metagame discussion. I got the rest of what I want to talk about written down, and this one's going to be conveniently titled The Rest of Everything, co-starring my ugly, weird-looking friend who thinks he's Kasame, but he's actually not. Yeah, you all were curious too. Alright, let's dig on into this interesting discussion, shall we? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Alright, cheers. This is probably the most in-depth I've gone with a metagame discussion in a while. So, we're gonna just dig on into Blue Eyes here. Now, only reason I'm mentioning Blue Eyes is because I've actually been talking to a couple of Blue Eyes players, and there's been a couple of interesting theories thrown my way. And the first one was, what if you just make Chaos Max Turbo? How do people in the format attempt to beat this? Things like Borreload, Borrelsword could definitely beat it, but how consistent is that rank 4 commitment? And the other question is, normal decks can't get over a Chaos Max at 3k. I mean, Alter guys kind of struggled to get over it. It's one of those really weird things. If your locals is predominantly Sky Striker, then why are you not looking to Chaos Max Turbo to kind of get you through your shitty format time? Now, Blue Eyes is very expensive, and there are a lot of people, it's like, why would I spend money on Blue Eyes when I could just spend about the same equivalent of money to a tier 1 deck? And that's an absolutely valid argument. I mean, bingo machines, they are expensive. Chaos Swarms, I think, have gone down a little bit. Same thing with Chaos Maxes, but things like alternatives, I mean, for what you'd be spending for a Blue Eyes deck, you could probably pick up Sky Strikers for. So it's very arguable, but if you do not want to make that mass commitment to one sort of deck, to a tier 1 deck, I mean, Blue Eyes is probably going to be for you. I mean, it's not going to be super relevant. Take it with a grain of salt. I mean, the deck continues to get new support, so I mean, you can take it for what it is. But Chaos Max Turbo has just kind of been showing its ugly little head at my locals, and it scares me just for what the deck can do. Like, I don't know. It's a strange one. Next up, we have Mech Knight, and I'm also going to talk about a little bit about Invoked. So, Bar brought to my attention the other morning that Mech Knights and Invoked are kind of starting to show their age a little bit. And when I say show their age, it's like Invoked doesn't really have the power that it used to. I mean, Mekaba's great. It's a fantastic card, being able to fuse with multiple elements to make multiple things. It's good, but the problem that we start to run into is the deck kind of starts to age. And with that age, you know, the more power creep that comes on top of it. I mean, it's cool that the engine was as resilient as it was for as long as it was. Like, good job, Konami. You made something really great. And with the viability that it had for as long as it did, it's been great. But now we're kind of starting to feel the effects of aging with these engines. And that's not a bad thing. Not at all. I think, given the prospect of how the game's evolving, we're going to continue to see this with a lot of these decks. You know, just the fossilization effect kind of take place, and just the engines not being able to grind as well. I mean, Mech Knight was a fantastic OTK engine, but when your opponent's got Thunder Dragon boards out the wazoo, there's not much you can do. There's a possibility that the Mech Knight and Invoked engines can eventually return to the game. We'll have to wait and see how future things kind of speed up and possible ban lists. I mean, ban lists do allow these other decks to return, even if it is for a short amount of time. And I think it's one of the things that people don't like is ban list pushing older decks back into the game, but that's what it's there for. I mean, we may as well take advantage of it for these particular things. So I gotta say, like, the engine's still there, but it's fossilizing very badly for both of them. Like, I do like Mech Knights, but man, it just a little bit of rust there. Now the next one is Dinosaurs. And there's been a lot of talk. I mean, a lot of talk about the Dinosaur Thunder Dragon hybrid. Now, Miscellaneous is still limited to 1 in the TCG. I believe, and obviously the hybrid's a lot better than the OCG. Oh my god, you have what, triple miscellaneous Ceratosaurus? Or what is it, one Oviraptor? There's some other really weird restriction in the OCG. But the engine is just OTK central, like Overtex, Double Evolution Pill. I think some people in the TCG were trying Double Evolution Pill with Overtex to essentially kill their opponents in pretty much the same rate that the OCG was doing, and you're kind of combining the Thunder Dragon and just kind of make the deck more consistent, which I like. It's good, but we kind of reached the same point now. It's not that the Dinosaur engine's kind of fossilizing, because Double Evolution Pill just breathed new life right back into the deck, but current limitations and things kind of make the engine a little bit slower, and that's not good. Especially if you're trying to make the deck be super competitive and go. Overtex is a fantastic card. Ultimate Conductor's fantastic. But I'm starting to see Dinosaur packages in much smaller quantities. And I know that that's not supposed to be the way that people are looking to the deck, but with the way that it's going at this current point in time, that's what we're getting. Dinosaur, it's still relevant. It's still going to be relevant. But I think you have to get the right package and the right blend into your deck to make the deck function, or else you're just going to have an absolute shit show for what you're trying to do. So Dinosaur is definitely, it's a fragile engine, but I think splashed into the right deck, you can have some success with it. I'm definitely not trying to sound condescending to Dinosaurs, but the deck is really weird. Next up is Burning Abyss, and I always kind of dance around Burning Abyss because I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't know how to play the deck. I sat that format out. I took a little bit of a breather during that time. Same thing, BA Mirrors did not amuse Papa Robbie. Not at all. I think they're an absolute horrendous shit show to deal with in the game. And ain't nobody got time for that. But as the game's kind of progressed now, I've read the cards. I know Beatrice, you want to either dump Snow or you want to dump Farfa, but it still doesn't mean that I like playing the deck. The deck is still very much in full power now, and we've seen people combining it with the Danger archetype, because Sneck with the fantastic level 3 engine that you've already been provided to accelerate the overlay process into Dante. Who knew that making a level 3 monster that could special summon itself, no matter what, was a good idea? I gotta give it to Konami. I'm very happy with Sneck. It did a lot for just the level 3 generation decks. Oh, it did a lot for BA. I don't know. BA, I'm surprised that the deck does as well without Cherubini as it does. Light a Sec is a hell of a card. And just the boards that BA wants to generate, like, kudos to BA for still being relevant after all of this time. They're doing better than Mermills. Mermills have been forgotten about in the age-old cavus of time, but you've got things like BA that are succeeding as well as they are, and I'm not surprised, considering how much love the deck gets from people, the Chaos Monsters, for as powerful as they are, but man, it's an interesting time to be alive. Now, the last one I've been requested to talk about is Pendulums. Now, with Pendulums, the boards that you would make are not as good as you would think. I understand that the build 3 negate board is pretty stable, and it can do some stuff, but Electromite is at 1. And I mean, we're still going to see people continue to be successful with Pendulums, and that's fine. It's a nice, consistent deck. Your toolbox has been destroyed a lot throughout time, and that's fine. Let's be real. But if you're... I honestly want to put it in the same category as BA now. You look at Pendulums as a deck, you're like, oh, cool, you have consistency, you have build negation boards, but you're fragile. The ban list has made you kind of just decrepit. And that's not a good thing for the Pendulum players. I know Pendulum players want to think of their deck as absolutely all god tier amazing, and that's fine. But you're also kind of starting to feel the flow of time kind of to creep on the deck. you'll be able to do some things, and that's absolutely fine. But I don't know, the deck just doesn't really suit my fancy for the way that the game has been going as of late. I definitely think there are better decks to play besides Pendulum, and I know certain somebody will disagree with me, but that's absolutely fine. So that's all I have for this discussion. Of course, there's a lot of things going on in the game, and a lot of things are evolving in the game. So take it with a grain of salt. See where things are going. Understand that not everything's going to be good, but this should probably bring you up to speed more on what's seeing play. Alright guys, I'm out. Peace. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel. And join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.